Howdy FLUFFBUTTS, it's me from the FaolanCortez cult, and guess what has happened most recently? I have reached 7,000 of you FLUFFBUTTS subscribing to me! Woohoo! That is another milestone achieved! I thank you all so much for your love and support throughout these many years of me doing YouTube. I'm really grateful. So, in celebration of that, I have decided to throw together another one of these annual questions and answers. I'm going to be answering your FLUFFBUTTS questions that you submitted to me, and I'm going to be answering them all colorfully that I can. Ooh, pretty exciting, isn't it? You're going to learn a little bit more about me. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's begin. How did you get into MLP? I've probably talked about this subject many times before, but I shall repeat it once again. The way I got into My Little Pony, it was around in 2017, and one day I was in a Discord server with a few close friends that I made on Amino. Oh my god, do you remember that app? One of those friends linked a YouTube video to Smile HD, and their reaction to this was like, oh my god, this is so funny, you have to check this out! And I thought to myself, what on earth is this? What, isn't this thing for like little girls? Yes, I was that stereotypical, I'm ashamed to admit it. But my friends were like, no, you have to see it. You will laugh your ass off, I promise you. And there so I gave into that temptation and I watched the video and lo and behold, I was laughing my ass off. Just seeing these childish cartoon horses getting brutally murdered by Pinkie Pie, it was just the funniest thing ever. Then my friends in that server told me more about My Little Pony and what the show was all about and the generations, and I thought, well, okay, that video was sort of fun, but I don't think I'm going to be getting into the actual show. It's not really for me. But then one day, I decided to download a few episodes just for myself and just to keep on my computer. It's not like I'm gonna watch them or anything.
I'll probably watch them one day if I'm ever bored.
And then one fateful night, my whole neighborhood's power had just been cut. Luckily, my house's power was okay and I still had my computer going, but it was just so bored with nothing to do because even my Wi-Fi had been cut out. So then I was looking at the My Little Pony episodes that I had downloaded for fun and I thought, fuck it! I'm gonna watch one episode and just be done with it. I'm just gonna have a little explore around and then just delete the rest of it off my computer for good. My very first episode that I watched was Look Before You Sleep from Generation 4.
This is gonna be the bestest slumber party ever! Yay! Yay!
And I was legitimately watching with my eyes glued to the screen. To my 17-year-old brain, it was genuinely interesting, and I thought,
okay, maybe this show isn't so bad after all.
I downloaded all the seasons of Friendship is Magic, and I consecutively watched every one of them after the other. And it has led up to here today, me, a beloved G5 enthusiast, and making videos all about these stupid ponies that I consider to be for little girls. How life comes around, eh? I remember that video where you did what ifs for MLP. Can we see more of those at some point? In fact, yes, my friend, you will be seeing something similar to that what if video that I made long ago. I'm currently in the process of writing up a whole little fan fiction for a what if scenario that I had in my head for a long time. What if Sparky Sparkeroni died in missing the mark? How sadistic, I know. But it's just one interesting question that I've had in my mind for a long time now, and I just wanted to make it into a video, so keep an eye out for that video whenever it comes out. I know it's going to take a long time because I'm still writing up the whole story.
My, that's a long drop.
First, congrats on reaching 7,000. Thank you very much, mate. And the second off, who do you think is cuter, Sparky or Spike? Well, I don't know. Who do you FLUFFBUTTS think is cuter? I mean, surely it's got to be Spike, you know, because, you know, he's a purple and he's a cutie. He's always helping Twilight Sparkle with her chores and all. What does Sparky have to offer? I mean, he's just Hitch's pathetic dragon baby who does nothing but burps and farts all day long and has actual no characterization to him and is a pointless inclusion to Generation 5 as a whole, proving that the generation was just worthless after all. Yeah, there's just absolutely no way that I could consider Sparky to be the cutest out of the two. It's got to be Spike, I'm afraid. What are you looking at? Of course I love you, my boy. You are most adorable. Hey Cortez, congrats on your 7,000. Who is your favorite MLP G5 character and why? Well, if the last question was anything to go by, it would have to be Sparky. But if it didn't have to be him, I think my favorite character or characters would probably be Hitch Trailblazer, Zip Storm, Alphabetal Blossomforth, and maybe I'll throw in a wild card, Leaf the Dragon. Obviously for shipping reasons, Hitch and Zip are the best characters, there's no doubt there. But then again, as individuals, both of their characters are very catchy, they're very beautiful as well, and the way their roles were implemented into the whole of G5, oh, I can just admire them for who they are. It makes me want to try and pursue a career like Hitch or Zip, probably more on Zip's line if I have to be honest, because there's no way that I could enforce the law.
Pick up that litter!
Alphabetal has shown one of the strongest arcs, specifically in chapter 5 when it was revealed that Misty was actually his daughter and he had that little existential crisis that maybe this character isn't really the person that he knew, and eventually he accepted that reality and he's like slowly bonding with Misty again, so that's wonderful. And Leaf the Dragon, I don't know, I just love him the most out of all of the dragons. He's very goofy and cheeky and yeah, he's very sassy, I love him.
We weren't trying to eavesdrop.
We were actively doing it.
Of course, my pony sister would be commenting a few questions. What are you trying to do? Hog the spotlight, Kiki? Get out of here. Since I know you love summer, what team are you on? Team Celestia or Team Daybreaker? Ah, but I consider Celestia to be the best princess in Generation 4. Yep, not Luna. I'm not Team Luna. Fight me. Although, I really love Daybreaker in that one episode, A Royal Problem. Purely on aesthetics and character-wise, it would probably be Daybreaker. She can light a fire in my heart if you know what I'm saying. What is your favorite Pokemon aside from Grovyle and Gengar? Let me just note off a few right off the bat. Surviper, Sandslash, Blastoise, or more particularly in my case, Wartortle, Lapras, Bayonet, Hypno, and Aggron. You probably would have noticed that I only noted off the Generation 1 and the Generation 3 Pokemon because I'm currently playing Pokemon for the very first time. Yeah, that is true. God, I was so late to the party. But I've known Pokemon for years and what the creatures were all about, but I've just never actually properly played the games. So far, I have completed Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Emerald, and soon enough, I'm going to be moving on to Pokemon Crystal. So that's pretty nifty. I cannot wait to get onto Crystal. Yay, well done, mate. So proud of you. Yeah, thank you very much, Lightning. I really appreciate it. And he's asking 4 here. So the first one is, what was your first con experience like? Oh boy, you have no idea how straining it was on my brain the first time through. It was so overwhelming because I was doing a lot of first time things out in the public and on my YouTube as well. It was my first time officially blogging. It was my first time at an actual convention. It was my first time doing a panel and hosting it and doing everything up front and like doing a presentation in front of a whole bunch of people. My first time meeting internet friends. I'm never going to forget how me and Kiki screamed down the hotel.
Kiki! Oh my god!
My first time driving on a motorway ever since I passed my test in 2020, and just genuinely my first time getting out there in the world and like experiencing it and cherishing it for what it is. Especially the vlogging part. Oh my goodness, I was extremely nervous. I barely recorded shit. But nevertheless, everything worked out so brilliantly. And overall, everybody at the convention was so flippin' sweet and I loved it. Oh my god, and I just wanted to do it over and over again. And I know that I'm going to UK PonyCon 2026 this year. How did you get into the brony and furry fandoms? Well, I've just explained how I got into MLP, so why not the furry fandom? And it was through Zootopia. Yeah, I am that unoriginal, mares and gentle colts.
You liar!
It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
And it was during when I was in college too, in 2016. And let me tell you, I was in quite a depressive state of my life. I needed something that could give me that boost of like motivation and happiness. And lo and behold, the furry fandom did that for me. And wow. I was a joy to the world at that point. If G5 continued, what would you have done to the storyline? Considering what we've had leaked that I've reacted to before, I would have definitely continued down that way, and especially when Twilight Sparkle was revealed inside the wishing star when she steps out, I think I would have had the main six and everyone else going up there to confront Twilight, and they would have the shock of their lives. And also we could have had some more emphasis on Skyros as well, investigating more of Skyros and digging deeper into Alora's relationship with his brother now that they have been reunited. There are many possibilities for where the storyline could have gone, but in my opinion, I believe that I would have aged up Sparky a little bit, just so that he isn't caught in the loop of the usual baby dragon antics like Spike did. What is my favorite G4 episode and my favorite Tell Your Tale and Make Your Mark episode? Alright, let's get the most obvious one out of the way. My favorite Friendship is Magic episode, The Perfect Pair. But if I wasn't being so uninspired, I would say that the Cutie Map 2-parter from Season 5 is my favorite episode. Very creepy, very ominous, and Starlight Glimmer's performance in that 2-parter, hot damn, it was amazing!
And we'll teach you just how much better life can be without your cutie marks.
And for my favorite G5 episodes in the two shows, for Tell Your Tale, it would have to be either Britain in the Star Scouts, The Hunt for Egmont Bunny, The Blocky Wockies, or No Place Like Home. And for my favorite Make Your Mark episode, there is no other episode that can unquestionably compare to the masterpiece that is Missing the Mark.
I'd rather be a pony without a cutie mark forever than live one more day as a pony that does the wrong thing.
I've already made an entire analysis video on that particular episode on why I think it's my favorite and why I believe that it's the darkest that G5 has ever been. Go check that video out whenever you want, FLUFFBUTTS. If Hasbro did age Sparky into a teenage dragon, which of these voice actors do you think would be the perfect fit? Sam Vincent, Ben Schwartz, or Jack Black? It's not gonna be Jack Black. Fuck the fuck off. I love the actor so much, but come on, no way. If I had to choose, if I had to choose between either Sam or Ben, maybe Ben Schwartz would be the best fit. No real reason why, I just really love the guy playing Sonic the Hedgehog in those live action movies. The third one was the best. Congratulations! Do you have a favorite episode from both the modern and classic Doctor Who series? For modern Doctor Who, my favorite episodes would either have to be Midnight, Heaven Sent, The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances, The Doctor's Wife, and I'll throw in a wild card again for the 13th Doctor, It Takes You Away. But for classic Doctor Who, I can't really say much because I haven't really seen all of the past yet. But I've seen a few serials like Genesis of the Daleks, The Ark in Space, Planet of the Spiders, and the entirety of Trial of a Time Lord. Those were pretty good serials as well, so I'll grant you that, my friend. And if Doctor Who's had appeared in other generations of MOP, what would they look like? Well, if the 10th Doctor was meant to represent Doctor Who's in Generation 4, but I swear Doctor Who's had also regenerated into the 11th in Generation 4, I'm unsure.
Is that Princess Celestia? How come y'all aren't doing any gardening?
So maybe Doctor Who's, if he appeared in Generation 5, he would definitely be the 12th or the 13th. Then for Generation 3, we obviously going back to the 8th or the 7th, but imagine if the 7th Doctor was Doctor Who's in Generation 3. Probably the most purest generation that there has been, and someone manipulative and deathly as the 7th Doctor. Bloody hell, he would make a ruckus. And then Generation 2 and Generation 1 would be the rest and so forth. Congrats on the 7k subs! Just wondering, how's learning the guitar going for you? You mean this, baby? Yeah, oh my god. I truly wish that I could find enough time just to further learn how to learn to play the guitar. But unfortunately, yeah, my schedule has just been off the charts recently and I've been so busy. I've still got the guitar, yes, but I just don't have any knowledge on how to play it. Although I've got guitar chords poster on my noteboard right here, just so that I can learn maybe the different chords and how to play them from time to time. Just holding it in my hands like this and it being green and with the sparky stickers on it. It just motivates me to one day properly learn how to play the guitar, because I do want to try and like make a few melodies out of it. I'll admit I want to be a bit like Queen Barb with her own guitar. The trolls did this to me. They made me buy an actual fucking guitar just because of it being my hyper asphyxiation, and it still is. What have I done? My jacket is catching on the strings. This is cool. Ah, fucking hell. But yeah, that's how good I am right now. I am absolutely garbage. Have you ever watched Martin Mystery? And if you haven't, should you do a reaction to it? No, I haven't seen or even heard of Martin Mystery. Let me just give it a quick search. What is Martin Mystery? A boarding school in Quebec. They work for a secret organization which covertly protects the people from alien threats. Oh, okay. So it's like an alien spy cartoon. Okay, I'm kind of interested. But would I do it for a reaction? Not right now. And concerning the videos that I'm doing right now, it wouldn't really fit in. But if you go over to my Patreon page, FLUFFBUTTS, and make a donation, you can request a video for me to create. It could be a reaction to a show or film or anything you want, some gameplay to a game of your choosing, or literally anything at all. Make me talk about stuff you want, I guess. What was your favorite Moon Scout moment? I would say that my favorite moment has to be from the movie A New Generation, when Sunny and Izzy were in the lighthouse together and they were really embracing each other so closely, so close to the fact that they were almost kissing. It's a really heartwarming moment and it really elevates the scene for both of them and their characters. Oh man, they do really get along. Name your top 5 best leaked Tell Your Tale episodes. Oh, so we're getting more specific here with the episode pickings, and now it's the leaked Tell Your Tale episodes. Well, if I had to go for my top 5 episodes, I would say that in no particular order, that they would be Digital Detox, Enchantment Under the Sea, The Alicorn Path, The Petal Gala, and The Greatest Gift. Sorry, Hopalotta's special, but you were kind of middling. What was your favorite Alpha Haven moment? Even though I don't really like the episode that they're both prominently featured in, the Jinxie games, it would have to be their scenes outside when they're just taking a stroll, and when Queen Haven has that one moment of loneliness in front of Alphabet, or like, without my girls around, I just feel so alone. And then, like the dominant savior he is, Alphabet just takes Queen Haven's chin under his hoof and says, "You are never alone." And I believe that they just share a kiss, and the sisters are just grossed out by it. That was pretty funny, but still very adorable all the same too. Were you happy that Sprout never showed up in Tell Your Tale? Yes, I'm glad he never showed up. You FLUFFBUTTS already know how much I hate the character, so I'm not going to dive into that. Truth be told, I think if he was featured in Tell Your Tale, I think he would just be made the punching bag over and over and over again. It would just get repetitive. It did kind of get on my nerves a little bit how much Posey was repeatedly being abused, but if those shenanigans were flipped back onto Sprout, and if he ever appeared in Tell Your Tale, I think it would just be unbearable. It would be uninspirational, and there would be, quite frankly, no creativity to the stories that he would be featured in. But let me tell you something, he deserved more runtime in Make Your Mark, however, because then he would have actually had a chance to actually redeem himself and show some proper characterization for once, instead of being an annoying little shit. But nope, they kept all that stuff in, and especially his performance in Top Remodel. My god, he was irritating.
You're the one who crushed a giant robot pony into Sunny's lighthouse.
I thought we all agreed to move past that?
No!
Congrats on the 7K! Thank you so much, Golden Fox. It's a pleasure seeing you here. Despite Generation 5 being severed off by the Dark Lords, that is Hasbro, how open are you should there be a 6th generation of My Little Pony? I think I've talked about this in a previous questions and answers video, and yes, I am very much open to a 6th generation of My Little Pony, but only if it's not a lousy, lazy rehash of Generation 4 or a renaissance of Generation 4 or so that they can just like blow it off as like a different generation even though it's practically the same thing. That is not the correct way on how to evolve your franchise moving forward. Generation 6 just needs to be its own thing now, and something that is completely fresh and brand new, with new characters, a different kind of Equestria than the ones that we've known, and an entirely new format on how to go telling the story. Or you know what? Why not try and reboot Generation 1 for the modern audiences? And that is something I've talked about a lot passionately, because I would love to see Generation 1 being brought back. Reimagine Generation 1 with the same kind of stories, but maybe like tell them in a different way, but still keep the same characters. That way the older fans have something to cherish and actually appreciate and see where their generation has come from, and then the newer fans can like,
oh, so this is what the past was like? Maybe I gotta try and explore that.
It would bring most of the Brony fans back in a really lovely way, instead of just rehashing Generation 4 for like 1,000th time with like a new spin-off or just a future timeline or something. I want something new just for once. If you could redesign any character in G5, who would it be, why, and what would you change? Undoubtedly, it would have to be all of the dragons in the Dragonlands. Have you seen the way they are designed in Make Your Mark? They all have the exact same model. And admittedly, yeah, that is just a bit weird. So I would redesign the Make Your Mark dragons in the same way they are designed in Tell Your Tale. Because in Tell Your Tale, some of the dragons actually have bigger body proportions, their limbs are all different sizes, their heads are kind of twisted. It just makes them all look uniquely different in Tell Your Tale instead of just uniformly the same, but only with some with hair.
Good, yuck.
Leave, be nice to them. They brought presents.
What toy exclusive would you like to have seen in the show? Oh yes, 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 yes. I would have desperately have loved to see Hitch dressed up as that Ranger piece of merchandise that's gone out of print now. I've got it up there in my cupboard, but it's just behind many more pieces of merch, so I'll show a picture right here for all of you to see. That would have been awesome to see in Generation 5 for real. And finally, if Sparky's biological parents would meet his adoptive dad, how would you like it to happen? Oh boy, now this one is a question and a half. This is more suitable for like a whole what if video. But if Sparky's real dragon parents met Hitch, oh, now that would be a confrontation for the ages. But I don't think that it would be fiery and argumentative like some could assume. I think it would be very loving and understanding. I'm about to go into imagination mode, so do excuse me if I'm not looking at the camera. If Sparky's real parents met Hitch for real, I think that it would happen probably on the beach maybe, because then they could like travel over the sea, and when they reach Maritime Bay, people would be freaking out, but maybe Hitch would be more open to like seeing who they are, and Hitch would greet them, and Sparky would maybe recognize the glint in their eyes somehow, and he would like remember some memories, like maybe his parents throwing his egg away into the ocean, and then when the parents make eye contact with Sparky, they instantly recognize him, and then the real parents would try and open up their arms to Sparky, waiting for a hug, and then maybe Sparky would like run into their arms and give them a hug as well, and then Hitch would tear up like, oh my god, this is actually his real family, I'm meeting them at last. Sparky's parents would then go down to Hitch on his level, and they would say thank you for keeping him safe, and maybe they would try to fly away with Sparky, but then Sparky is still on the ground on the sand next to Hitch because he's been with Hitch longer, and you know, he considers Hitch his real dad maybe. Oh, that would be dramatic and a twist. And then Sparky's parents would look back at Sparky being all happy and giddily with Hitch, and oh, they would have an emotional moment like, oh, I know we're his parents, but he's already got his own family now. He's chosen it himself. It could be a really cool callback to when Sparky had to choose between Hitch and Spike in Roots of All Evil Part 2. Sparky could have some reminiscing right there on the spot. In a nutshell, if Sparky's real parents were to show up, it would be a heartwarming mess, but tenfold. But yeah, I wish we could have seen Sparky's real parents show up in G5. That would have been an explosive scene to witness. Like, wowee! The dragons actually do care about each other now instead of despising each other. And with Sparky in the equation as well, outstanding episode. It could have been an episode all by itself. Oh, I've got to write something about this pronto. Well, FLUFFBUTTS, that wraps up my celebration of me reaching 7,000 subscribers and this question and answers video. Thank you so much for watching, FLUFFBUTTS, and once again, I am very grateful for all of your love and support throughout all of these years and me finally reaching 7,000 subscribers. Let's keep pushing, FLUFFBUTTS. Let's try and reach that big 10K someday. But first of all, we've got to conquer the 8K goal. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now. It's you and me versus the world, FLUFFBUTTS. Let's keep at it. So, FLUFFBUTTS, don't forget to hoof smash that like button down below and comment your thoughts as well and what you thought about my answers to all of your questions, and subscribe to my channel for more stuff like this and many more content coming soon. And also don't forget to leave a pledge on my Patreon page down in the description below so you can help support me in making these fantastic videos more consistently. And I shall see you all very soon. Goodbye! And just before this video ends, I want to give a huge thank you to all my patrons on my Patreon. My Silver FLUFFBUTT patrons, Starlight Blaze, Sabrina Wade, and Alex Smith, and all my Gold FLUFFBUTT patrons, Drew Lazinski, Clear Heart Apple, Jonathan Chapper, Stephen Cram, Darthsiler22, Goji Stan, and Lance Dragmeyer. All your love and support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.